what we're doing, but this plane keeps circling us, buzzing us here as we're going down the river.
Welcome aboard Wind Gypsy. We are Lisa, Richard, and Ginger the dog, and we're glad to have you with us on our great adventure. So sit back and enjoy all the pretty scenery and hopefully entertaining narration.
It's a palmetto. It's a Mexican stove. It's super turtle. There it is. Flying turtle. And then on the other side we have this beautiful line of palmettos in front of the home. Here we have some Spanish moss hanging off of the trees.
Oh, look at you.
I listen.
What kind of trees?
Green ones.
And we are going up the Ashepoo River to B&B Seafood Dock, where we can share a dock with the shrimp boat and get some fresh shrimp.
If you enjoy our videos, please click like and maybe even
Subscribe.
I didn't even have to tell her what to say, she knew. When we left Charleston this morning, we thought we were going to have to anchor, but we found this great place on the ICW. It's a shrimp dock. Reminds me of my days with my uncle.
Billy B, Green Pond, South Carolina.
Gotta love it. This might not have been plugged in, and one of us may have figured out how to plug it in and connect it. But this place is awesome. B&B Seafoods off of the ICW. You gotta come here. It's $40 a night. We'll say no power, but you gotta have a 75-foot extension cord to get from here to there.
So here we are at B&B Seafood Dock in South Carolina, and here these guys are pressure washing the oyster catch, getting them ready for sale. And here's their bushels of clean oysters. And here are the oysters yet to be cleaned. And here are bags of oysters in polyethylene bags. Nice and clean, ready to cook and eat. Ginger, come on back here. Come on. I always think it's good when communities have their priorities straight. And here you have the Billy B, named I think after Billy Baldwin, which is also the origin of B&B Seafood here at Bennett's Point, South Carolina. And there we are. Richard's on the dock, heating water for coffee. Oh, I guess he's done heating water for coffee. We must have hot coffee. And Ginger did her thing, so we're going back.
Well, we're leaving B&B Seafoods. That was a really nice place to stay. Coming down the little fairway here. Pretty place.
Uh-oh, I don't know if somebody declared war on the United States while we were at the B&B Seafood, or if this is just the normal air traffic as we approach Beaufort, South Carolina.
He's got his landing gear down.
Yeah, that's why I think these guys guys have been coming in and landing, and it's just a lot of them. Anyway, except for all the jet noise, a really pretty collection of houses with their own docks here in the river on our way to Beaufort, South Carolina. Right over here is the Marine Airport airfield base, and we have been watching jets take off and land and circle around us for the last hour or so. We just saw one land here, which was pretty fascinating. I mean, you can see the runway from here.
And this is the swing bridge outside of Beaufort, South Carolina. We spelled the same as Beaufort, but they call it Beaufort. This is Ladies Island Bridge. Just waiting for it to swing open. They've got the traffic stopped. A bunch of palmetto trees down there looking pretty. There's a safe harbor on the other side there. We're not going to that one. It's all booked up right now, but all our stuff is there. That's okay, we'll manage. We were standing here admiring the view, and there it is. You could hear the birds. It's nice here in South Carolina.
So this is the parking lot at the Safe Harbor Port Royale landings, about 2 miles from downtown Beaufort. Absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, the parking lot. This is so lovely. You could put tables out and hold wedding receptions out here. It is just almost hard to appreciate how spectacular the view is.
So every cruiser I know gets nervous going under a bridge. Let's watch this guy. We're not even feeling a wake from him going by. No problem. Lots of room.
Beautiful sunset here in the Beaufort River in South Carolina. We're in the mooring field tonight. It's only the second time we've ever been on a mooring ball. That's those balls like that you might see in the middle of a waterway. Well, actually off to the side of a waterway. They're anchored in themselves. That way, you know, you don't have to worry about dropping an anchor and retaining good staying power. A little disadvantage is sometimes you bump into them when the boat swings around with the wind or the current, and it scares the poop out of you because you hit something, but that's okay.
And we are watching the New Year's Eve fireworks in Beaufort, South Carolina from our boat. Whoa. So it got dark around 6:30, like dark, but we had to wait till 9 for them to do the fireworks. It was like the longest wait of my life.
Like a kid at Halloween.
You know, I understand in the summertime when it doesn't get dark till 9:30, The fireworks start at 10, but come on, it gets dark like at 6.
It is January 1st, 2024, and we are leaving the mooring field of Beaufort Marina. Watch the Beaufort. Watched the fireworks last night. Had a wonderful time. Nice, calm night on the mooring ball. Did you have a good New Year's, Lisa? I'm on a boat. Sunny day in South Carolina. Because of the way the reservations worked, this trip ended up with us starting in the middle at Port Royale. Then we ended up going up to Beaufort and then down to Hilton Head Island. A little bit of backtracking, but it all worked out. Okay, here we are, New Year's Day, and we are sailing. Look at this. 2024, starting with sailing. That's always nice for a change.
Woohoo!
Ginger, what time did we turn the motor off? 1:55. What time do we turn it back on? 2:42. Okay.
So, I didn't realize that white pelicans lived out here on the Atlantic coast, but these are definitely white pelicans, white American pelicans. Huge flock just over the grass there, and they seem to be cohabitating quite happily with the brown pelicans. The judge and the sheriff were just over here. The little blue boat next to the boat with Southport on the transom, I guess has been abandoned here at the marina. So they have sold it to a local guy who sort of collects boats and resells them down the river a ways. We talked to him for quite a while. Really interesting guy. It is surprising the number of abandoned boats around here. You can pick up a boat for cheap, even for free.
See if it comes back. There it is. Oh, 3 of them. 4. There we go. Well, just flung something. So here we are at dock, our second night at Hilton Head Island in South Carolina. We're in Skull Creek Marina. That's Skull Creek down there. See the red light of the buoy you have to go past, and you can just make out the green marker. And as long as you go between those, you should be good. You're not going to hit land. But the important thing is, right now, it is a beautiful sunset. And it looks like there's a cruise ship coming this way. Seeing this cruise ship go through Skull Creek was pretty interesting. It did take about 5.5 minutes for it to go the whole route, but I sped it up 10 times. Hopefully it'll come through okay on the video and not be all choppy and blocky. If it is, I'm going to delete this and you'll never see it anyway. Our cruise ship was the American Eagle, and it is on its way to Beaufort, South Carolina, which is what we just came from there. It's like 15 miles. So it's January 2nd, and this is probably
the last decorated boat that we'll see. I guess this was the only boat that really decorated in this marina this year. They certainly did a good job of it. A lot of flashing, twinkling lights. Apparently a lot of boats decorated last year, but not so much this year.
So this is literally the largest poinsettia that I have ever seen here in Hilton Head, South Carolina.
Biggest I've ever seen.
Richard is happy that in addition to the decorated palm trees, they do have a more traditional Christmas wreath. So someone told us there were 12-foot alligators over here on the golf course. So we're looking for alligators.
Shh, be very quiet. We're hunting alligators.
So at first I thought these white birds were egrets, and I'm like, why are the egrets on the lawn? And then they flew overhead, and I realized they were ibis. The tips of their wings are black, and they have curved beaks, and of course they're eating insects on the ground here. And here we go again, just the amazing difference in vegetation with the live oaks and the palmettos and the wild gophers. So I was over here filming a downed tree, and apparently a bird flew out of the bushes next to it, and Richard jumped back and pulled Ginger with him, and I jumped back. I was sure it was an alligator, but Richard said it looks like it was just a bird.
And we're leaving Hilton Head Island on our way to Blufford, which is about Bluffton, which is about, it's only 11 nautical miles, maybe 2 hours, but it was recommended to us by somebody in the marina, and we thought it'd be a nice change, and there's a farmer's market that should open just after we get there, so that's always good. Not sure if you can see this, but there's an old like Army Air Corps insignia from World War I on this aluminum bodied trailer, probably an Airstream, and I guess a shark on the back, kind of like a Spitfire. And this is a Legion branch, Legion outpost, Hilton Head Harbor. Thought I saw something about the Legion, maybe I didn't. Just Hilton Head Harbor Marina. Anyway, that's kind of cool.
So here we are in South Carolina, and we're going to Bluffton, and what do we see on this person's dock but a giant Red Wings flag?
And here we are at the Bluffton City Dock. Beautiful spot. Lisa's gone up with Ginger. Make sure Ginger's happy and get a chance to look. It even looks like they have power set up. That's kind of nice.
So we are in beautiful Bluffton, South Carolina. We tied up at the Calhoun Street dock. This is Calhoun Street. The dock's down here. There's working on an old antebellum carriage house that's going to become the new visitor center. Some beautiful homes, beautiful vegetation, camellias blooming in January, and on Thursday there is a farmer's market. So we are on our way to the farmer's market here in Bluffton, South Carolina. There is a 3-hour limit at the town dock, although it does have power and water. Although the lady at the park said you probably don't need to worry about it in January. The little gallery and the store. Ooh, something smells good too.
The place beside us is a restaurant, the Pearl.
Oh. It certainly does smell good. So I think people in Bluffton are very welcoming. This house says, "Welcome Bluffton," and has a lot of cool junk all over it. There's a couple of paddles and a propeller on the front gable. Some antiques, some sculptures, a bunch of birdhouses. The magnolia tree.
Oh.
It's not that welcoming because there's the no trespassing sign. Here is one of the local art academies. Art gallery and cool stuff.
Yeah, I like that sign. Cool stuff.
A little earlier we saw a Red Wings flag, but here is the #1 Michigan Wolverines fan.
Go blue. Go blue.
They do have a lot of parks here and a lot of rules for how you can use the parks. Some beautiful homes. Again, this is looking down one of the side streets. I guess this is for the alligators. But no alligators there today. And this is the view of Bluffton from the Calhoun Street dock, the public dock, where you can only stay for 3 hours.
I didn't read that.
There's the park. And this is a view from the other side. And there's our boat. And again, sort of disappointed. I don't see any alligators.
Stop!
I fell for that once. And this is the historic Garvey House, circa 1870. Overlooking the May River here in Bluffton, South Carolina. And it's very impressive, the number of people that have been down here at the park all day. Lots of dogs. Not nearly as many dogs as there were in Jersey City, but lots of parks. This church is supposed to be quite lovely. It certainly has lovely grounds. And this family enjoying the sunset along the May River. And another view of the May River just after sunset, which really isn't a river, but a tidal embayment. Somebody read the informational placard. And fiddler crabs live on the bottom here, and at low tide emerge from their burrows to feed and walk along the bottom in groups of up to 1,000 crabs. Can you imagine being down there diving and all of a sudden the entire bottom is moving as a mass of fiddler crabs come walking towards you? Sounds like a plot for a horror movie.
So this is a boat with crab pots on the top, and we think it was raking oysters as well. Really interesting. There's all kinds of birds following it. Yeah, you can see him dropping his pots. There's the birds following him. That was the first Georgia sign we've seen. Georgia Department of Transportation on that wharf over there. There was a fisherman there, yelled at him, made it to Georgia. He goes, yay! We go, yay! It was a good yay moment.